You know how to ride, you've done it before, so why does your body freeze up around your horse? That feeling of self doubt, it's more common than you think, and you're not alone. I've been riding since I was 10 years old, and I still found myself frozen, anxious, and ashamed. Not because I forgot how to ride, but because my nervous system didn't feel safe around my horse. So today, I help equestrians overcome fear, anxiety, and self doubt, not by pushing through, but by working with the nervous system to create real lasting confidence. And in this video, we're going to unpack why self-doubt shows up in the saddle and what you can do to gently shift it. So let me be very clear, self-doubt is not a flaw. It's a protective response, often rooted in past experiences where it wasn't safe to trust yourself or your body or the people around you. Maybe you were criticized a lot growing up. Maybe you had a fall or a scary ride and no one supported you afterward. Maybe someone told you to get over it or stop being dramatic when you were actually really scared. And over time, those messages become internalized. Your nervous system learns, if I doubt myself, maybe I'll avoid danger or embarrassment or getting hurt again. A woman I work with, let's call her Laura. She grew up in a very challenging environment. She approached me to help her understand why she's doubting her horse. She worried she wasn't good enough for him or that she would somehow mess things up. So during a session, we gently explore where that self-doubt came from. What we uncovered was that throughout her life, her dad kept telling her she wasn't good enough. She had experienced moments where she was left to make big decisions on her own, without support, without guidance. She learned to carry the weight of responsibility, feeling that if she didn't get it right, everything would fall apart. Who can resonate with that? That kind of pressure does not disappear. It stays in the nervous system and shows up later as anxiety, confusion, and self-doubt, even around the horse. So with gentle somatic techniques, we work together to process those old fears and patterns. She was finally able to release some of that pressure and begin rebuilding trust in herself, not just as a rider, but as a person. When we grow up in an environment when we didn't feel emotionally supported, whether it was a critical parent, a distant sibling, or constant pressure to do better, we often internalize the belief that we're not good enough. As children, we naturally try to earn love and approval. We people please, we try harder, we make ourselves smaller. And when that still doesn't bring the connection we long for, we assume the problem must be us. Our body just wants to feel safe, supported, and connected. But when those needs aren't met, the nervous system draws a painful conclusion: there must be something wrong with me. This is how self-doubt and shame take root, because our emotional needs weren't met. And here's the thing, those deep-rooted beliefs like I'm not good enough, they don't just stay in childhood. They follow us. They show up in adulthood, like when we are at work or as a parent. And they especially show up in the saddle. Suddenly, it's not just about riding. It's about proving your worth. It's about feeling like you have to get it right or else you've failed. You start doubting your instincts. You question whether you're too soft, too slow, too nervous. You compare yourself to other riders and wonder, why can't I just be like them? But what's really happening is your nervous system is replaying old stories, the one that were never yours to carry. I'm working with a woman, I'll call her Emma, who constantly compares herself to others. Starting from the ground before she even gets in the saddle, she's been stuck in a cycle of seeking approval from those around her, trying to follow everyone else's advice and feeling overwhelmed by the many methods and opinions in the horse world. As a result, she's been feeling confused and full of self-doubt, questioning her ability to support her horse and ride with confidence. So we began exploring the moment when she felt unsure or disconnected from her instincts. We gently processed those experiences together, and while we're still working through it, she's already starting to build trust in herself, learning to listen to her inner voice and believe that she can find the right path for herself and for her horse. Maybe your self-doubt didn't start in the saddle at all. Maybe it began the moment someone laughed at you when you were trying your best, either in class or at social gatherings. Maybe it was the look of disapproval from a parent, a nasty comment from a classmate, the moment you raised your hand or showed up fully and got shut down, judged, or dismissed. These moments imprint on us, and even if they had nothing to do with horses, your body remembers. So now when you're at a competition or someone watching you from the fence or even just your coach is giving you feedback, that old feeling comes rushing back. Self-doubt can be sneaky. It might sound like, what if I mess this up? Maybe I'm not cut out for this. Everyone else is doing better than me. My horse deserves someone more confident. Or it might show up physically, like tensing up before a ride, struggling to make decisions in the moment, freezing on the mounting block, holding your breath without realizing it. Which one resonates with you? Let me know in the comments below. It might even stop you from riding altogether, not because you don't love it, but because the voice of fear has gotten louder than the voice of desire. Suddenly it's not about the horse, it's about being seen and feeling not enough. The tightness in your chest, the nervous energy in your hands, that urge to disappear, rush, or prove yourself, it's not just performance nerves. It's your nervous system responding to a past moment that felt unsafe, embarrassing, or even painful. And this is where trauma-informed support becomes essential, because riding with confidence isn't just about learning techniques. It's about healing the parts of you that still believe you're not good enough, even though you are. You're just responding to something that once mattered deeply and likely still does. And the good news is that you can change this pattern. You can learn to feel safe being seen again, to rebuild your self-trust, and to ride from a place of connection, not performance. And that's what our work together is all about. And by the way, self-doubt does not care how experienced you are. I see this all the time. Even skilled, knowledgeable, talented riders and trainers feel it. Because self-doubt isn't about ability. It's about old wounds, old messages, and old nervous system patterns that get triggered in the present. I'll give you an example. I work with a lady named Sarah. She grew up in a home where no one understood her love for horses. She used to sneak into the stables just so she could be with the horses. That was her safe place. She grew up with parents who constantly repeated the message that she's not good enough. Anything she did was not good enough. Her passion was not good enough. And now as an adult who trains horses, she still has that voice saying, you're not good enough. It's not because she's lacking skill, she's actually really good. But her body learned that old story a long time ago, that doing what she loves comes with judgment and rejection. And that stuff sticks, even when you logically know better. In our session, we're gently separating the past from the present, helping her nervous system feel safe enough to actually believe in the good she's doing right now. We're also processing the emotions she never had space for when she was younger, the anger, the frustration, the hurt, all the feelings she had to hide just to get by. And when the body finally gets permission to express those emotions, instead of holding them in, something changes. She started to feel lighter, more grounded in who she actually is, not who she was told she was. And she believes in herself and in her business. A common mistake I see often is that many riders try to overcome self-doubt with positive affirmation. And while affirmation can be helpful, they only work when the body actually believes them. I work with so many women who were told, you're doing great, or you're a beautiful rider. Yet inside, they felt like those words were a lie. The body didn't feel safe enough to receive the praise. So while affirmation are a wonderful tool, they need to be aligned with your actual emotions and lived experience. Your nervous system has to feel the truth of it. Otherwise, the words stay on the surface. When we gently process the stored tension, fear, and old beliefs first, the affirmations start to land. They feel real, they feel embodied. I'll give you another example. Another rider I work with, her name is Michelle, who has positive affirmations stuck all around her mirror. Reminders that she could do this and she was strong, capable, and good rider. But every time she went to ride or even thought about trying something new with a horse, her body would tense because the nervous system didn't believe those words. Her body was still holding old fear, old pressure, and old stories that said it's not safe to trust yourself. So no matter how many encouraging words she repeated, her body responded with tension, hesitation, and self-protection. Another rider, Leah, who doubted her ability so deeply that even small tasks felt overwhelming. One day she watched someone else work with her horse, and for a moment, something clicked. She thought, oh yeah, I can do this. And for a few days, that confidence stayed. But then the old self-doubt showed up again. Not because she lacked skill, but because from a very young age, she had learned the painful belief that she wasn't enough. So even when things went well, her nervous system couldn't hold on to the success. The old story was stronger. This is what so many riders experience, not a lack of ability, but a deeply rooted belief shaped long before horses ever entered their lives. So if any of this feels familiar, the self-doubt, the pressure to get it right, the tightness in your body before you even ride, I want you to remember there's nothing wrong with you. Your self-doubt isn't a flaw. It's an all-protective response for moments when it didn't feel safe to trust yourself. And just like the women I've mentioned, you can change this pattern. You can learn to separate the past from the present. You can process the emotions your body has been holding. You can rebuild trust in yourself and feel grounded again. Confidence does not come from pushing harder. It comes from feeling safe in your body. And when your nervous system feels safe, your confidence naturally returns. If this is something you're working through, you don't have to do it alone. This is exactly what I help riders with every day. Feel free to reach out if you'd like some support.